Hi, welcome to all of you for this session, mental health tip session. This is session 18. Now, I just want to share with you the reason why I'm doing all these videos. I was, I was actually receiving a lot of inquiry on this. Many people were consulting me on emotional stuff, this type of stuff, and some are very painful. Sometimes husband, wife will get into issues. And I just see that even they come for counseling, they're not helped. They're not helped because it's not easy to change a person. It's not easy to change a chemistry that has been formed for so long. I'm talking about between people, which gives a lot of pain. So the pain that people are going through is very complex. It could be related to many things. And I noticed what they need is actually a structure to process themselves and the events, a structure of how you manage certain interpretation in our mind. How do you manage these emotions that's going on inside? How do you manage some beyond control thought preoccupations? So I was thinking, okay, I think better I do like a program so that when people go into it, then as they listen and listen and listen, something happens. There is some individual strength that they can draw from within them. And that is what we want. That is the one that will solve. So I was determined to go deep and go to the place of solution. So some of the topics that I'm covering here, it's out of practical experience, and sometimes it can be construed as a high stuff and so on, but actually it's not. As you're going through and when you practice, you will see it yourself. And that is why the last session I was talking about centering. See, it's a very difficult thing to realize. If people can realize where their thoughts are coming from, where the behavioral pattern is coming from. Why is it that I don't want to be angry, but I become angry? Why do I become sensitive about this subject? So it's like something within them is out of control. So I went very deep. And the solution is an awareness. Once we are aware of this automatic, the place where it gives you these automatic thoughts and emotions, if you're aware of that, you gain some control in a matter of time. So the last session we we're talking about centering. You see the four centering. These four centerings are very clear to me when I see. And that's the reason we cannot help them on the level where they are bringing in their problems, because the solution is in beneath, in something that's beneath it. That means a structure beneath the structure that has produced the suffering. Understand? You see, when you get angry, it is in a particular structure. You got angry because you expected something, and when the expectation is not fulfilled, so automatically you got angry. You see, it's an uncontrollable feel there, where we experience what we are experiencing due to, say, mental issues, expectation, desires not fulfilled, all that. So what is beneath it? What's the structure that's beyond this structure, that's beneath this structure? And if you're aware of that, you can manage the top structure easily when you know the bottom structure. So when you're aware of the centering, it is a bottom structure. That means it is going more towards the unconscious part of us, or a subconscious part of us, where you're bringing consciousness into it, becoming more aware. And then you find automatically you gain certain control that you never had earlier when you were just dealing from the same structure where you are creating the problem, you're trying to find the solution. Now, when you're aware of the structure behind all this structure, you tend to have greater control. So I'm going to talk about the centering further. You see, once you are centered in a particular thing, egocentric or justice-centric or love-centric or enlightenment-centric, whatever centric you have been designed into. See, designed, your memories will design you into this. All the experiences and memories will design this without your knowledge. So let's say if you take egocentric life, Now, what happens is when you are from that particular centering, you tend to create your own playing field. Let's call that as the playground. That's the ground that you want to play. That's a comfortable ground to play. Yeah. So if you take the ego centering, you'll notice people from here, depending on the level of egoism, I'm just taking a general thing. Depending on the ego, if the egoism is high, then the exertion of emotion is high. Either happiness, pleasure, or pain. It is both high when the egoism is high in this playing field. So in this playing field, this ego centering, what happens is, what I notice is the way they define success is based on position, power. So if you have got some title, or then there is some kind of respect or jealousy. So it's like that happens, the jealousy and making role model out of egocentric success. Those are all egocentric success. And you will notice that the way they judge people is based on power, on how rich they are, how, so these are all very ego-centered. They cannot see more than that. Success is more than this. Who is successful? The poor Jesus or Steve Jobs? You see, of course, Jesus is more successful. 2/3 of the world is worshipping him. So is he? Well, I'm not talking about Jesus here. I'm just talking about success. There are things beyond this ego-rated success. And this playing ground is very interesting. The way they think and so on is like, what is the maximum that they can go for in terms of pleasure? Power. They need more power. So it starts from importance. In everything they want importance, appraisal. You can't exhaust the need for appraisal. People should praise them. And if you come across some people, their joy is in people praising them. So in their playground, they have to have people who praise them. But let's say they move to another, they are dealing with a person who doesn't praise them or always criticize them. You will find that they won't like to get into that relationship, not their playing ground. They would like to talk and they need people to listen to them. But when their turn to listen, they don't want. So they are so impatient. It wants other people's, listening, but it cannot listen to others. So it's quite selfish in nature. And that's the playing ground. So now you realize why some people are not mingling with everybody. They only mingle with a particular group. Because somewhere the playing ground is around there. This playground is suitable for this person to be in. Same thing, if let's say people who are centered in love and enlightenment, they come to this playground, they feel very stressful. They will disturb these people who are in the egocentric playground. They will disturb them. Their purity will disturb, and this egocentric people will not like to mix with those people. I'm not saying they are high and low, but it's a different playground, and the chemistry will not fit in. So that's how we all have our own playing ground and players. But I must tell you, every playing ground has its own training and has its own consequences. We call that as karma, right? It has got its own karma. You have to bear the karma. Like if you take the ego-centering one, a lot of mental issues comes from there. A lot of mental issues come from that first centering, that playground, egocentric playground. Because they get into emotion very easily, bad or good, and both are not good. Excitement and fear, both are emotions that gets magnified in the egocentric playground. And there are many things. Jealousy, you'll find more there. Comparison. always being in a competitive positioning with others, but they may not realize they're always measuring themselves with others. They're comparing with others, themselves with others. And when you notice, they're limited in their way of looking at the world. Their worldview will be different. Now, when you look at the justice centric, they have got their own playground. And their playground is like they want truth, they want honesty. So these are the people who can become activists, rebels, the rebels. Yeah, I call it. They will rebel because they all have this attitude of opposing what is bad, what is negative, but they may go into sleepless nights. That's okay for them. Lose their peace. That's okay for them, as long as they make it right. So they're good people. Good people who will have a lot of stress when things are wrong. And their playground is that. So usually these type of people, they are either spiritual leaders or political leaders or CEOs of companies, where they are regimented. Their thoughts, their mental framework is regimented for what is true. But that's okay. But that's a playing ground. There's more to it. I'm just giving a little. You can't go, if let's say you are from the love center and you come and mix with this, you will see that they are good people, but they're very stressful people. They're very responsible, but their responsibility will create the stress in them. Unnecessarily, they become serious about things that's not right. Can you imagine if you're serious about everything that's not right, what's going to happen? You're going to be tensed up throughout. And for them, tensing up is okay. That's not an important thing. But later they'll regret and they want to have peace. They want to look for someone who can teach them meditation. So like they'll be looking for it. Look, that's part of the playground. They need to handle the mind. And these are the people who are also into a lot of mental health issues. So the other playground, the love centering, is a very interesting playground. If you move to that playground, your entire landscape of how you operate on this planet changes. You will feel like, okay, who can you help today? Service becomes important, not money. If money is needed to serve, then they look for the money. Everything they do, they want to see that there's a value for human development. There is service value in everything they do. See, the landscape changes. They always have projects on how to help people. They do a lot of charity. They accept negativity. They prefer to accept because then it gives them the peace of mind. The love gives peace. Love gives peace. If you are in love with someone, then love will give you peace. So that is why they move to peace. In any relationship, they would like to settle the issues and get to peace. So their playground is getting more juicy. Juicy in the sense, life sometimes not juicy everywhere. Like if you take the justice centering playground, there's no juice there. So love centering will bring out the juice. The intrinsic self of the individual begins to come out, and fragrance of the human inside, the soul factor, will start to come out, and it will radiate fragrance in terms of behavior, good behavior. People like to mix with people who are love-centered, and trust also increases because with love, trust increases. But the trust level with the egocentric people is low. So there's always this bargain that we are throwing into any relationship. Can I trust that you will give me love? This is actually not a conscious bargain, it's a subconscious bargain. So if you cannot trust that someone is going to give you peace, then somehow you'll plan not to be in that playground. You would like to avoid the relationship as much as possible or keep them at a distance. So, yeah, the love playground. And something very interesting about this love playground is you start attracting a lot of love from others. The justice center, although they are truthful, you can trust them, but they're too good. They will say all the right things, but they won't understand others' weaknesses. They get irritated with weaknesses. So what happens? There's no juice there. So juice comes from this love vibration that is generated out of that playground. So once you start playing this love thing, meaning you have deep fulfillment when you help someone without expectation. There is compassion participating here. And that's the juice. The moment you touch that aspect of your being, the hard aspect of the being, the compassion aspect of the being, the soul aspect of the being, when you touch that part, there is this elixir of life. The juice of life starts coming out. The sweetness will start coming out from that being. And people like it, and they would like to participate in that. They would like to enjoy that particular offering, that love offering, and the trust will be high. But this playground also has other things. It has got sadness together. It is. It can feel it can sympathize with people and feel sad. Yeah. And so in that sense, it will bring sadness, fear. See, those who love, they will have fear also. You love your children, then you'll have fear that this can happen, that can happen to them. Then you feel sad. So these are things that's together in a package, which I've explained earlier. But this is a playground. And you'll attract people who are along with that. And you create a community, and you look very sane and very good people. You look like a group of civilized human beings. And you will be one. Then these are the people who will be thinking, how nice if those people playing their playground comes here. So you will try to influence them because you know what you are experiencing. You know that a lot of suffering that they are facing in that first playground is because of their own making. And if they can be saved, this is where they feel that the playground one needs to be saved. So here there's a lot of service work to be done. And I want to stop here. This when you talk about playground, one of the most wonderful playground is the enlightenment playground, and I want to spend more time there in the next session. So right now, when you look at all the playgrounds, do you have a choice to shift your playground? Of course, can. First step is look out for people who are from that playground and mix with them. So if the playground one, the egocentric playground people, when they look at the love-centric people and they feel like, I want to be like them. Why I cannot control my anger? They can easily accept things. How? First step is go and mingle with people there. Go and attend the activities they do, and do the activities, do any practices they do. Start doing that. And that's the beginning. And as you become more aware and more aware of this playground that's controlling you, you will gain the power to pull out and shift to another playground. So today what you do is just look at your playground and others' playground. You just become aware and enjoy the place that's going in the playground. Enjoy how and what people attract due to their playground. Become aware. Thank you very much. See you in the next session.